Tonight on the News Hour, rising concerns over the impact of military airstrikes on local communities. Maiduguri's Shuari community struggles after forced demolition. Police arrest human traffickers and rescue 13 victims in Kaduna. On the foreign scene, DRC crisis continues. Hospitals overwhelmed as death toll rises in Goma. Hello and welcome to the News Hour tonight on Trust TV. Over the next hour, we'll bring you up to speed on the details of the latest stories and events from Nigeria and other parts of the world. I am Aisha Salihu. In Nigeria, military airstrikes play a pivotal role in the government's efforts to combat armed groups and bandits. However, a disturbing trend of civilian casualties during these operations has sparked both local and international alarm. Since 2017, more than 400 civilians have lost their lives in such strikes. Trust TV's Ibrahim Shehu investigates the human toll of these operations, reporting from Maiduguri, one of the communities most affected in Kaduna.
Over 80 people were killed in this village by an army airstrike a year ago. Instead of targeting rebels, the drone strike killed and wounded people who were attending a religious celebration. In the latest misfire, another military airstrike targeting notorious criminal gang leader mistakenly killed at least 20 civilians.
The government is here to compensate us for our loss. They gave us some stipends, not compensation. I lost 6 of my children in the attack, 4 boys and 2 girls. I was injured in the airstrike. You can see this scar under my chin. I was hospitalized for 3 months, but I am now better. We still live with the trauma of the attack.
The Nigerian military defends its airstrikes, but acknowledges the challenges of precision targeting in complex conflict zones. They are battling a Boko Haram insurgency, armed groups who carry out mass killings and kidnap for ransom, and decades-long conflict between herders and farmers. Despite promises to investigate accidental airstrikes, few of them led to prosecutions, but last year, 2 officers were dismissed following an investigation into the drone strike in Kaduna.
As communities like this mourn their dead and rebuild their lives, there's a growing call for greater accountability and improved strategies in Nigeria's counterinsurgency operations. Without these changes, the risk of alienating the very people the military seeks to protect remains high.
The government initiated road infrastructure projects in Maiduguri village to build community confidence. However, residents have reported that these developments have encroached upon their farmlands.
This year we couldn't go to the farms because of the construction. It has taken over our farmlands. Some people have started planting already, but they were all destroyed. We are in trauma following the attacks, but this is worse. We don't have any source of livelihood.
Critics argue that the frequent civilian casualties are eroding public trust in the military, are undermining the fight against insecurity.
Where you have effective and efficient intelligence, it can differentiate between the enemy and the law-abiding citizens, so that during military operations, effort is taken not to affect the law-abiding citizens. So in all ramifications, definitely intelligence can help. Technology too can help.
In Maiduguri and other affected communities, the scars of loss run deep as the military presses on with its fights against armed groups. The unintended toll on civilian lives leaves a lingering shadow over its operations and success. Ibrahim Shehu, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Now, residents of Maiduguri are grappling with the aftermath of a government-led demolition in Shuari 5. Authorities say the move is part of efforts to upgrade the Muhammadu Buhari International Airport to meet international standards for foreign travel. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurutsi reports.
Once homes, now rumble. Shuari 5 residents watch helplessly as excavators tear through their community. Many here, already victims of insurgency, say they received no prior notice or compensation before losing their homes. Some now face an uncertain future, pleading with the government to address their plight.
We were not informed about the demolition exercise. We suffered to build this home for 4 years. They started the demolition yesterday. We thought they would spare us. They are supposed to cater for poor people like us. We don't have a place to go. The government should do something. I wasn't notified that my house was going to be demolished. I only discovered today that it was true. I bought the land 5 years ago and now it is gone. We know the government is more powerful than us, but they should do what is right.
We have been struggling with hunger and the economy, and then we saw them demolishing our houses. Some weren't even lucky enough to pack out.
Officials from the Borno State Urban Planning Board and other related agencies were on site overseeing the demolition and briefing the press.
There is no compensation for them. They have been informed since 2020, and then we have been following to secure the land and then stop them from development. They keep on developing it. We had series of stakeholders meeting with their leaders, but they refused to comply.
As you are aware, Maiduguri Airport was upgraded by the federal government to start international operation. And there are requirements we have to meet. If we don't meet them, the target of government will not hold. So what we are doing, or what we are saying, we sympathize with the people who refuse to obey this order. We have our plan.
For the displaced residents, the big question remains, will the government offer compensation? As they wait, the expansion of Maiduguri International Airport pushes forward. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Now, for 6 years, Aminu Ibrahim has been battling a spinal cord condition that has left him unable to walk. Despite his struggles, he has been supporting himself through his small birds business while recovering, receiving little assistance from others. Now, he is seeking medical help abroad, hoping for a chance to walk again. Hassan Koli has more.
In a small corner of Gombe, Aminu Ibrahim tends to his bird, his only source of income. It has been 6 long years since a spinal cord injury changed his life, while many in his situation will have given up. Aminu continues to push forward, relying on his bird business to survive. It was accidental. I was in Kano for treatment, but I got involved in another accident while training to walk. These birds helped me get by. I sell them to take care of myself. I also get support from individuals, but it's not enough. I still struggle with medical bills and daily needs. It hasn't been easy for these years. For 6 years, his biggest challenge remains affording the medical care he desperately needs. Doctors say specialized treatment abroad could improve his condition, giving him a chance to walk again. I still have hope if I can get support to travel to India for treatment, which will cost 6 million naira as stated in my referral form. I believe I can walk again. I just need a helping hand. Despite the odds, Aminu remains hopeful. His story is one of resilience, but he cannot do it alone. He is now reaching out for support to help him get the medical care he needs. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Now, more on health matters. The Plateau State government has confirmed a suspected Lassa fever outbreak, with 3 reported cases, including 2 fatalities. Dr. Cletus Shurkuk, the state's Commissioner for Health revealed that one of the deceased patients was from Shandam local government area, while the other died at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital. The third case is currently undergoing treatment. The state government is working closely with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention to prevent further spread. Following the outbreak reports, a response team was deployed to affected communities for assessment and public education on the disease. All trace contacts tested negative. Dr. Shurkuk urged the public to prioritize good hygiene practices to prevent future outbreaks. The House of Representatives Committee on Communications is engaging with the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress in a bid to halt the nationwide protest slated for February 4, 2025, over the recent 50% increase in telecom tariffs. The Nigerian Communications Commission had approved the hike, citing rising operational costs as the driving factor. However, the NLC has condemned the decision, arguing that it places an additional financial burden on Nigerians already grappling with skyrocketing fuel prices, high food costs, increased electricity tariffs, and other economic hardships. The union insists that the federal government and the National Assembly must reverse the hike immediately. Chairman of the House Committee on Communications, Peter Akpatason, emphasized that while the concerns raised by Labour are valid, a mass protest could worsen the economic strains on citizens. He noted that the committee had engaged with telecom operators who cited challenges such as inadequate funding for infrastructure upgrades and declining service quality. Similarly, the NCC's Director of Public Affairs, Ruben Moka, confirmed that the Commission is in discussions with the NLC to address their grievances. While negotiations continue, tensions remain high, with organized labor insisting that the planned demonstration serves as a warning against further economic policies that may push Nigerians deeper into hardship. Now, the Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency has disbursed refunds to over 3,000 pilgrims who participated in the 2023 Hajj. According to the agency's spokesperson, Yunusa Abdullahi, each pilgrim received 61,080 naira, with the funds credited directly into their accounts. The funds issued by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria were due to power supply interruptions at Muna, which affected cooling systems and caused discomfort for pilgrims. While acknowledging delays for some pilgrims, Abdullahi assured that another round of refunds is scheduled for next week. He attributed the delays to incomplete account information and urged affected pilgrims to submit their details through their local government registration officers to facilitate quick disbursement. Despite handling the 2023 refunds, the agency is already focusing on preparations for the upcoming Hajj. Concluding the refund process promptly, Abdullahi noted, will allow the agency to shift its attention and resources toward ensuring a smooth pilgrimage experience for 2025. Now, a 59-year-old businessman, Chijioke Nana Igbokwe, has undergone emergency surgery to remove 57 of 81 cocaine pellets lodged in his stomach after failing to excrete them for 7 days. Igbokwe, arrested by NDLEA operatives at Lagos Murtala Muhammad International Airport on January 26, had ingested the drugs in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, before attempting to smuggle them to Beirut, Lebanon, for a $3,000 fee. However, he was denied entry into Lebanon for failing to meet the minimum cash requirement and was deported back to Ethiopia, where he struggled to expel the drugs. Upon his return to Lagos, NDLEA officials placed him under medical observation but after 5 days, he had only excreted 24 pellets. With worsening health complications, doctors performed an exploratory laparotomy to extract the remaining drugs. In a separate operation, NDLEA intercepted 2,000 kilograms of Ghanaian loud, a high-grade cannabis strain at Lekki Beach, arresting 3 suspects. The agency also intensified its nationwide war against drug abuse campaign through sensitization programs in schools, workplaces, and traditional institutions. Now, President Bola Tinubu's Special Advisor on Media and Public Communication, Sunday Dare, has criticized the president's political opponents for allegedly fueling tensions while Tinubu was in Tanzania seeking solutions to Nigeria's energy challenges. Dare accused President's detractors of spreading vitriol and engaging in political theatrics instead of constructive discourse. His remarks follow recent criticisms from former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai and former Transportation Minister Rotimi Amechi. El-Rufai slammed the ruling All Progressives Congress for abandoning its founding principles, while Amechi suggested that the political class would resist ceding power to younger Nigerians. Reacting via his X handle, Dare dismissed the criticisms as predictable rhetoric from wannabes and urged them to wait until the next election to test their popularity. He emphasized that Tinubu remains focused on governance and economic reforms, declaring this is 2025, not 2027. The Catholic Bishop of Yola Diocese, Stephen Dami Mamza, has called on the federal government to provide peasant farmers with essential agricultural tools to boost food security, especially in northern regions affected by banditry. Speaking during the launch of the Jubilee Year-themed Year of Hope at St. Theresa Cathedral in Yola, Bishop Mamza lamented that insecurity has prevented many farmers from accessing their lands for years. Leading a symbolic candle-lit procession from the old cathedral, he urged the government to take swift action to address economic hardship, emphasizing that Nigerians are struggling due to poor policies.
Well, in the first place, I think if we are assured of security, we will be able to produce enough food. The reason for the hunger and the reason for lack of food, even in rural areas, is because of insecurity. So government should provide good security for people in order that they will be able to go to their farm freely and do their farm business. And if there are other things also that the government can do in order to support farmers, fertilizer, farming implements, whatever, in order to support them in their farm work, that will also boost their morale and also boost the food production in Nigeria.
You're watching the News Hour, coming to you live from Trust TV studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. Coming up ahead. Bayelsa Cultural Festival celebrates heritage while addressing societal issues. Plenty more stories after the break. We'll be right back. It's nice to have you join us again. Now let's have another look at some of our top stories. We told you that rising concerns over the impact of military airstrikes on local communities. Plus, Maiduguri's Shuari community struggles after forced demolition. Moving on to other stories. In Dutse ultra-modern market, Jigawa State, butchers are key players in the local food industry, with many passing down their trade from generation to generation. Trust TV's correspondent Ali Rabiu Ali visits the market and reports on how these butchers are adapting to the economic challenges. Ali Rabiu tells us more.
Despite the pressure of inflation, the demand for fresh meat in Jigawa remains high, and butchers in Dutse ultra-modern market are capitalizing on this trend. Meat sellers who purchase cows worth between 1.5 and 2 million naira daily consistently sell out their stock, meeting the needs of the community. Governor Malam Umar Namadi has transformed the market into a modern hub, improving accessibility and attracting thousands of customers. The newly revamped space offers a wide variety of goods, making it a central point for business activities. However, inflation remains a significant concern for the butchers as the price of meat has risen to between 5,000 and 7,000 naira per kilogram, putting pressures on their margins.
The current price of meat remains at 7,000 naira per kilo. Despite the rising cost of cattle, we should have increased the price, but due to the concerns of the people, we have kept it the same. The price of commodity is currently 5,500 naira per kilo, and we appreciate the effort of the people in purchasing the meat. We thank God for the business and acknowledge the support of our customers. My message to the public is to be patient, as we believe the cost of products will eventually decrease in the future. However, as you know, times have changed. We used to slaughter cows worth 1.5 to 2 million a day. Nowadays, customers' numbers are not like they used to be. Why people still want to buy meat? The current socio-economic challenges mean they have to manage their spending. Despite these challenges, we remain satisfied because this is our only business. I have been slaughtering cows and selling meat since I was young. Over the years, I've become independent using my own capital to buy and sell meat. Alhamdulillah, things have changed for the better. In the past, we bought meat, sold it, and made a profit, but now we are just managing. By the grace of God, we are pushing forward and praying for Allah for improvement in the business activities here in Dutse.
Despite the challenges, customers have found ways to adjust to the rising prices. Some have shared with Trust TV that they continue to buy meat within their budget, showing resilience in the face of rising cost.
I came to the market today to get what they call kayamia in Hausa to buy and to cook so I can eat today, Sunday. It's expensive, but the truth is it's expensive. Sometimes the least we can get is for 1,000 naira, and some persons cannot afford it.
It is not normal at all, especially for a couple who have left our home to come over here to Dutse to come and serve. It is not. Actually, let me not just say we are suffering, but the truth is we don't find this easy for us. It is difficult.
Butchers, often the unsung heroes of the food industry, continue to provide fresh, high-quality meat to our communities. From cutting and trimming to preparing sausages, they play a vital role in keeping the food supply chain intact. From Jigawa, Ali Rabiu Ali, Trust TV News.
And Kaduna State Police recently rescued 13 victims of human trafficking and arrested 3 suspects. The suspects were apprehended on January 31, 2025, while transporting the victims to Oyo State in an unmarked vehicle. The police are continuing their investigation. In a separate operation, Ogun State Police rescued 3 kidnapped victims after a gun battle with gang members on January 29, 2025. 5 gang members were neutralized and 5.2 million naira in cash, firearms and vehicles were recovered. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, commended the operatives for their bravery and dedication. Now, 9 people, including children aged 9 to 12, were abducted when gunmen raided Piroje village in Jimlari community, Lao local government area of Taraba State at midnight. According to local sources, the attackers fired gunshots to instill fear and prevent resistance. 1 resident was shot dead during the invasion. A source described the incident as shocking as the community had never experienced kidnappings before. Meanwhile, Taraba State Police spokesman SP Usman Abdullahi Bello stated that an official statement will be released once investigations are complete. In agriculture, soaring fertilizer prices are forcing farmers in Gombe State to explore alternative ways to sustain their crop production. One of such farmers, Bala Adamu, has resorted to collecting decomposed manure from dump sites across Gombe metropolis, turning waste into a lifeline for his farm. Trustee Hassan Koli reports on how farmers are adapting to the harsh economic realities of modern agriculture.
In the midst of Gombe's refuse heaps, Bala Adamu carefully sifts through organic waste, searching for nutrient-rich manure. While others see garbage, he sees an affordable way to keep his farm thriving. Fertilizer prices are out of reach for small farmers like me. I have no choice but to gather manure from here and use it on my farm. It nourishes my crops and costs nothing. In fact, it works even better than chemical fertilizers, which we have used for decades. With chemical fertilizer prices skyrocketing, many small-scale farmers are struggling to afford essential inputs. Bala says his switch to organic manure has significantly improved his harvest. Since I started using this natural manure, my yields have increased. My maize is growing better than before. This is the best and most affordable alternative for farmers like me who can't afford expensive fertilizers. Experts say organic manure not only enriches the soil, but also improves its structure and water retention, making it a viable alternative in the face of rising input costs. As farming becomes increasingly expensive, more farmers like Bala are turning to creative, low-cost solutions to sustain their livelihoods. In a challenging economy, adaptation isn't just an option, it's survival. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
And now to a sad development. A fatal accident on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has claimed 1 life and left 5 others injured after a Toyota Sienna driver lost control and rammed into the rear of a container truck. The Ogun State Police Command confirmed the incident in a statement issued in Abeokuta on Sunday by its spokesperson, Omolola Odutola. According to preliminary investigations, the crash occurred when the driver of the Sienna lost control of the steering, leading to a deadly impact. The deceased remains were taken to Idera morgue for an autopsy and official certification. Traffic police swiftly responded to clear congestion, prevent further incidents, and tow the wreckage to Shagamu Police Station for inspection by vehicle inspection officers. The police further warned drivers against reckless driving, urging them to maintain safe distances from heavy-duty vehicles and prioritize passenger safety. Now, 3 people were killed and 3 suspects arrested following a violent clash between rival cult groups in One, Eleme local government area, Rivers State. The incident began on Friday when one group attacked another, killing 2. Residents fled the area as gunshots rang out. Police spokesperson Grace Iringa Koko confirmed the death of an arrest, stating that investigations are ongoing. Eleme local government area chairman Brian Gokwa assured that security has been restored and called for calm, urging youth to refrain from vigilante justice. The police said one of the notorious cultists, identified as Small Lighter, who had been terrorizing the area, was among the 3 killed in the clash. And now residents of Asaba, the Delta State capital, have expressed concern with the non-utilization of public libraries in the area. The residents lamented the neglect of these libraries, which they said were once hubs of learning and intellectual pursuits. According to them, the libraries have been abandoned, with many of them in a state of disrepair and in need of basic facilities and resources. Jonathan Anwanyai completes the report.
The residents called on the state government to revamp the libraries and make them functional, stressing that this would help promote a culture of reading and learning among the youth. According to them, most public libraries are in a deplorable state as a result of inadequate facilities, poor funding, and understaffing of the libraries. They recall that in the past, students used to spend more time in the libraries after school because of the availability of textbooks and other reference materials, which helped them to prepare for examinations and self-development.
The truth of the matter is that these days, the youth priority have changed. And it all boils down to moral decadence in our society, wrong parenting. What now happens now is that these youths are more interested in making money. They don't see education as a way out. They see education now as a means. And I blame that to the society where we put too much emphasis on certificates. So those that haven't managed to go to school just earn the certificates, but the interest is not actually in reading, getting intelligence and getting ideas. You know, these days they are more interested in doing their Yahoo. They are more interested in going online 24/7. That's why these days what you get is a half-baked graduates that can't even compose a full sentence.
Some residents emphasize the need to improve the reading culture in Nigeria, which they say has declined due to systemic issues.
Through the reading culture of Nigerian youths has really died down due to modern technology. Most of them, they feel that going to the library to read, to pick up a book and read, is a waste of time. So instead of them wasting their time coming to the library to read, they just pick up their phone and just Google. So I feel that is one major reason why the reading culture is dying down. It's just because of the internet.
In a reaction, the Delta State Library Board says steps are being taken to address the issue and ensure that public libraries in Asaba are restored to their former glory.
Recently, His Excellency approved money to buy books, which we have just done. We are going to distribute the books to all the libraries in Delta State. That's the starting point. You see, there has to be a starting point. Now, His Excellency has realized that, look, the libraries, one of the main things they do is reading. And if you do not have books, current books, people will not be encouraged. Our youth will not be encouraged. Even the adults, you know, our parents will not be encouraged to read. So he has made provision for us to get books.
Others lamented that some libraries in the state have been turned into social events and worship centers to generate revenue for basic maintenance following decades of neglect. Jonathan Anwanyai, Trust TV News, Asaba.
More developments from the south-south region of the country. In the heart of Olugbogweri, southern Ijaw local government area, Bayelsa State, residents are urging young people to reconnect with their cultural roots, stressing the importance of these bonds in tackling prevalent social challenges. This call to preserve tradition was central to the annual Ungozu Festival, a vibrant event that celebrated the community's rich heritage while fostering unity among its people. The festival offered an opportunity for reflection, cultural pride, and a renewed sense of togetherness. Trust TV's Friday, Ebimobowe Peter reports.
The people of Ologbobiri Kingdom gathered to showcase their timeless cultural traditions during the Ongozu Festival, held annually from January 30th to February 1st. This festival symbolizes a time of welcoming blessings to the kingdom, reinforcing both spiritual and communal bonds. As the festival unfolded, the distant sound of drums echoed through the air, signaling the arrival of the masquerade, whose graceful dances were an embodiment of the culture. A traditional belief holds that offering money to the masquerade during their performances will invite blessings of wealth and long life upon the giver. Many residents voiced their concerns over the growing gap between the youth and their cultural heritage, noting how this disconnection has led to challenges in personal identity and a sense of belonging. They believed that the lack of cultural engagement has fueled some of the social issues young people face today.
As Ijaw people, we have our own uniqueness. And one of these uniqueness is our tradition, which is our identity. That is what makes us a people. And so I want to encourage the younger folks coming up to go back to the root. The believer of Ijaw traditional affairs cannot oppress his fellow brother, cannot steal, cannot kill, cannot sleep with another man's wife.
The Bible says, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High God. So as Christians, I'm a Christian too, but we should not undermine this tradition. Tradition is a visual way of doing things in one particular place. So this is tradition, it represents tradition. And this tradition that we are doing today, the Ngozu, means wealth.
We are observing our tradition for the tradition to bless us. Are you getting me? We are not doing this to in form of a ritual, they are doing ritualists, right? The ritualists, we are not like them. Are you getting me? We are not offending someone's blood.
Residents agreed that a balance must be struck between embracing modernity and nurturing a deep appreciation for cultural heritage. They believe that reintroducing young people to their tradition will help them overcome societal challenges and forge stronger identities. The festival also featured the traditional slaughtering of dogs, an act believed to purify the land of Ologbobiri, reinforcing both cultural and spiritual purification.
What I've seen here is not just for the tradition, but it's an avenue of tourism for people to come to embrace our culture, understand the tradition of the people.
When we were much younger, we used to experience these things, but over time, these things have been eroded by the intrusion of the Western religion. These things were protecting us. They were making us productive. But over time, because of the erosion of these traditional practices, our boys are now going into all forms of criminality. Before, there was no criminality because everyone knew that the gods of Ijaw land will hold you ransom.
The killing of dogs, according to history and according to how they start it, because it's a kind of a sacrifice to purify the land of Ologbobiri.
The people, however, thanked great Joshua Maikaiva for preserving the community culture and values. His contribution are remembered with gratitude by the people of Ologbobiri, who continue to gather each year to celebrate their shared heritage. From Ologbobiri community, Friday Ibimobowi Peter, reporting for Trust TV News.
You're still watching the News Hour tonight on Trust TV. The news will return shortly.
Welcome to Trust TV, your gateway to the captivating essence of Nigerian history, culture, and society.
And this is where the hydroelectric power dam is supposed to be constructed.
Delve into the depths of Nigeria's past with our insightful documentaries unraveling the intricacies of ancient civilizations and colonial influences that have shaped the nation's identity. Immerse yourself in the vibrant Nigerian traditions and customs as we showcase the diverse cultural landscape.
The early history of human existence can be traced to the heart of northern Nigeria. Here, archaeologists found evidence of a group of people who sculpted clay and developed tools to smelt iron.
From lively festivals to time-honored rituals, Trust TV encapsulates the spirit of Nigeria's dynamic heritage. Experience an authentic portrayal of contemporary Nigerian culture that is both engaging and enriching.
With over 250 ethnicities, over 500 languages, and a youthful population, Nigeria has a truly diverse demographic advantage.
Don't miss out on Trust TV's amazing and impactful storytelling. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Troops from the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt have successfully deactivated 12 illegal refineries, impounded 70,000 litres of stolen petroleum products, and arrested 16 suspected oil thieves in operations conducted from January 27 to February 2nd, 2025. Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma Jonah, Acting Deputy Director of Public Relations for the division, confirmed the success of the operation, which also saw the demobilization of 6 boats and the interception of 9 vandalized pipelines. The troops targeted several key locations, including Rivers State, where 2 suction trucks loaded with 12,000 litres of stolen crude were intercepted along the Igorita Airport Road. Additionally, they uncovered over 10,000 litres of stolen products stored at a scrap yard in the same area. In the Imo River region, operations led to the destruction of 3 illegal refining sites and the confiscation of over 4,000 litres of stolen products. Further operations around Ugbede community in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni local government area resulted in the deactivation of 4 illegal sites and the seizure of 7,200 litres of stolen crude and AGO. Delta State saw the interception of a wooden boat with over 3,160 litres of stolen crude, while in Bayelsa State, a suspect was arrested with over 1,100 litres of illegal AGO. Troops in Akwa Ibom State continue to dominate key waterways, disrupting criminal activity. And now away from Nigeria, hospitals in Goma are overwhelmed as fighting with Rwanda-backed M23 rebels escalates, leaving hundreds dead and many more injured. At Keshero Hospital, medical staff are grappling with a surge in traumatic injuries, including gunshot wounds and amputations, as M23 solidifies control over Goma and advances into South Kivu province. The humanitarian crisis deepens. The conflict has disrupted aid operations, severely limiting access to food and medical supplies. Dr. Horace Kashema at Keshero Hospital warned that the hospital is running out of resources, unable to keep up with the growing number of casualties. The M23 rebels, bolstered by approximately 4,000 troops from Rwanda, have made significant advances, making it harder to dislodge them compared to previous clashes in 2012. Analysts predict a more difficult battle ahead. Still on the foreign scene, in a historic move, Burkina Faso's captain Ibrahim Traoré received the first ever AES passport, marking a milestone just days after Burkina Faso, Niger and Mali officially exited ECOWAS. This new travel document is seen as a symbol of unity among the three countries amid growing regional political and economic changes. Locals in Ouagadougou express hope that the AES passport will challenge negative perceptions of the region and open new avenues for business and travel. Cheikh Diallo, a graphic designer in Ouagadougou, emphasized the passport's role in correcting misinformation. Produced in Ouagadougou, the AES passport could simply travel and strengthen ties within the region. However, concerns over customs fees and its implications on trade persist, with some hoping it could reduce costs and foster deeper economic connections. While some remain cautious, many are optimistic that the AES passport will lower trade barriers and offer greater opportunities for economic growth across the three countries. ECOWAS has expressed willingness to continue dialogue with the new regional bloc. And finally, in sports, Kano Pillars Football Club have suspended their technical advisor, Usman Sharif Abdallah, for 3 weeks over his conduct towards fans following Sunday's goalless draw against Bayelsa United on MPFL March Day 22. The club, struggling for consistency with just one win in their last 3 games, has appointed chief coach Ahmed Garba Yaro as interim head. Pillars now turn their attention to a tough NPFL March Day 23 clash against league leaders Remo Stars in Ikene. Southampton manager Ivan Juric has heaped praise on Joe Aribo following the midfielder's standout performance in their 2-1 victory over Ipswich Town at Portman Road on Saturday. Aribo opened the scoring for the Saints and later showcased his adaptability by playing as a left centre-back. Juric lauded the Nigerian international's commitment and selflessness, emphasizing his willingness to play in any position for the team. The manager also stressed the importance of maintaining momentum, urging his players to push for more points as the season progresses. Very well then, that's about it on the News Hour tonight on Trust TV from our team here in Abuja and other parts of the country. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.